Car chases are dangerous and unpredictable. Viewer discretion advised.
All right, good evening. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. We have a pursuit for you right now in the San Fernando Valley on the streets of North Hollywood. So we're in LAPD's jurisdiction. However, this involves little San Fernando PD, the second smallest city in LA County. They are the ones who have been pursuing this vehicle. You see their cruiser. They are right behind this. We're told that they did not want LAPD's help on the ground. However, they do have their air support right now. So LAPD lending one of their many helicopters overhead. Oh, look at this. Whoa. A truck in the way here, but he goes over to the wrong side of the road to get away. This truck that's just trying to back in right there. Boy, that was a kind of a close call. So we're in kind of this big warehouse district here as we're northbound on Tahunga. So San Fernando, well to the north of here, but we came down near Burbank Airport and then kind of circled around there, North Hollywood area. Now we are trending back towards the San Fernando area here, northbound on Tahunga. We will see what the next move is going to be. We're still trying to confirm the want on this one. There has been some speculation that it was a stolen vehicle. That has not been confirmed, though, by the authorities on this one. But you can see, you know, sometimes when we deal with these smaller agencies, it's kind of hard to know what their protocols are. They tend to be on the more aggressive side. And I actually cannot remember the last time I ever covered a pursuit involving San Fernando PD. They only have a couple of cruisers for the entire city as it is. So as I widen out, you can see there you have 3 cruisers on this one right now. That's a significant chunk of their entire police force. Again, San Fernando, really tiny city, second smallest in LA County, only behind Hawaiian Gardens. As we come up here, we'll see if they're interested in doing a pit maneuver. You can see the push bar on that vehicle right there. Lets me know that this vehicle is capable. Of course, it's not clear if the officer is pit certified or not. Again, we're dealing with a smaller agency here with encrypted radio frequencies, so we're not able to hear all of the radio cross traffic between the authorities on this one as we continue cruising northbound on Tahunga. Besides that maneuver to the wrong side of the road briefly, we haven't heard about any really crazy maneuvers or any high-speed driving. You can see we're actually only maybe slightly above the speed limit right now. And it is a Toyota Prius that they are pursuing, so pretty much the quintessential economy car, not a vehicle that is particularly capable of getting away. But I understand Chauncey has joined us at the anchor desk. So Chauncey, here we are northbound Tahunga as we're making our way back towards our through Sun Valley and not too far away from where this began.
Desmond, good evening to you, and good evening to you folks joining us here on KCAL News tonight at 8 o'clock as we start with this police pursuit. As police give chase to this Toyota Prius, right now we know they're going through North Hollywood at the moment, but we know this all started in San Fernando Valley. Des, do we know how long they have been chasing this car, and do we know what they're wanted for at this point yet?
We're still trying to confirm what they're wanted for. We've just heard some speculation that it was a stolen vehicle, but they have not confirmed that to us here as we make a turn. Where are we going here? Oh boy, yeah, he's going into a dead end. I wonder why he decided to make this turn. So we're near the big rock quarries, the big industrial area here, and this is gated. A dead end. Oh no, are you kidding me? I can't believe it. He just went right through that gate and completely smashed up the vehicle, and I think he broke his windshield. Totally broke the windshield. This is absolutely insane. I've never seen a Prius do something like this. This vehicle is now extremely dangerous to drive. Unreal.
And
northbound on San Fernando Road. He just keeps going here. This is really dangerous. I mean, he could have little shards of glass flying in his face right now. That is one of the most desperate maneuvers I have ever seen, and by one of the least capable vehicles to do something like that. Right. So the windshield now is completely ripped apart. He's got stuff hanging off of the window here as we're getting a look at the suspect here. It's not sure if that's a guy or a girl that is driving this vehicle, but now we're up to about 80 miles an hour on San Fernando Road. So all of a sudden, what I was saying was just kind of, frankly, a fairly docile pursuit just took an insanely wild turn through that fence there. Really messed up this vehicle, and I'd be really curious to see what San Fernando does in response to this, Chauncey.
All right, Des, and I thought that was the end of it. I thought this suspect would give up, and I also thought that there was nowhere to go past that gate. And if you would notice, they, kind of slowed down a little bit, thought about it. You see there, and then bam, go right Just goes right through that gate right there and then gets through the other side on this road and then just takes off, even with the windshield shattered. Des, I mean, have you seen anything like that?
I mean, we have seen some people go through fences before and stuff like that, big trucks or whatever go through chain link fences, but you're talking about a little economy car that went through one of those big kind of beefy barriers right there,
Yeah.
and you see what that did to this car. You're right, I mean, they kind of thought about it, but the suspect making the decision that they were not interested in surrendering right there. I thought maybe they were going to, you know, get out of the vehicle and try to run into that industrial area and try to hide or something like that. But that is just really, really insane stuff. And the thing is I mean, this is literally a dangerous situation now for this driver with the windshield cracked the way it is. Going to zoom in on it again. So now, and they're just driving stone-faced, like nothing is even happening here. You know, not sure if that had any other effect on this Prius, but it definitely destroyed the windshield. You've got all of the wind that's going in their face, little bits of glass that could, you know, potentially fly out into their face as well. But San Fernando PD, they're unfazed by what we just saw. They are still determined to get this one here as we pass by Whiteman Airport. So we're on San Fernando Road, and the speeds really kicked up as well. Right after that happened, it was just like this suspect kicked it into overdrive now. We've been up to as high as 80 miles an hour here as we're flying along San Fernando Road. And, you know, this is pretty dangerous. We've got a lot of people that are coming out right now at the tail end of the day, getting ready for 4th of July festivities. I'm just going to say it because we're going to see it a lot later tonight. There are going to be a lot of people that will be lighting off illegal fireworks tonight. Could be a lot of pedestrians out here. Now you've got someone who has just taken a real maniacal turn as we head back towards San Fernando, right near where this vehicle was first lit up. We'll be in San Fernando here basically as soon as we cross the 118 freeway, which we are about to do as we come up through Van Nuys Boulevard and, well, now making a turn, a westbound turn towards the 5 freeway. We're now in Pacoima, Chauncey.
Got you. And Des, this is a Toyota Prius, and you've got to look at the damage to that car and think this suspect more than likely is injured, even if it's just from the shattered glass going in their face or on their body somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I really am kind of at a loss for words for that maneuver that we just saw right there. I mean, my pilot was saying he's kind of surprised that the airbags didn't come out, but I guess it was just kind of, you know, a low speed thing. If he had he not stopped first and gone through it, it might have deployed the airbags or done some more serious damage to this vehicle. And, you know, if this is a stolen vehicle, which again we have not been able to confirm yet, but I really feel for the person that, you know, could be watching this if they're watching their car. It totally messed up the door frame as well. You've got all kinds of stuff hanging off the side and part of the windshield. You know, it's wow, still just really, really crazy that we saw that as we see LAPD's helicopter going through the shot as we go underneath the 5 freeway, coming out of Pacoima and basically getting into Arleta. Are we going to get on the freeway? I believe we are. No, it looked like they were going to make a turn there to get on the southbound 5, but instead we continue Van Nuys Boulevard. So now we are into Arleta, and boy, so yeah, I mean, San Fernando PD, again, not sure what their protocols are going to be on this, but they are not showing any interest in giving this up, whereas, you know, LAPD or sheriffs might have done something like that with the crazy driving that we've seen, slowing down there a little bit through the intersection just for safety for everybody else. But we'll see if we see a pit maneuver or spike strips or anything like that, but we haven't heard about any active tactics to bring this pursuit to an end.
But we have seen this driver pick up speed a little bit here going down to Van Nuys Boulevard. We are now in Arleta as San Fernando police continue to give chase to this suspect. Des, you know, it's the 4th of July. Some major concerns as to this area as people, here it is 8:07, as people head out to different fireworks celebrations or different 4th of July parties. What traffic are we looking at as we take a look at what this, he's going on the wrong side of the road there. But as we take a look at, you know, maneuvers like that.
Yeah, I mean, we are actually possibly going to start to see some traffic on the roadways. Maybe not like rush hour traffic or anything like that, but it might start to get crowded in some of these areas. As you said, this is the time of day now that we're at dusk. folks getting really excited for all of the fireworks shows going on out there, and there's a lot of them across Southern California. So you're going to start to see people hitting the road to head to those if they haven't already headed there as it is. So definitely, a lot of folks out here, and if they're not in cars, they're going to be out here walking around as well. We know that, and again, because we will, I almost guarantee that we will be showing it to you later on this evening, where there is going to be a lot of illegal fireworks going off. We are already hearing a bunch of them over by Van Nuys Airport. Folks just cannot wait to light their fireworks off. So, I would hate to see anybody try to get in the middle of the street to do something like that, and then here comes this person, fly them down in a busted Prius that they might not even be able to see now that the windshield is completely busted. So definitely a dangerous situation as we're now southbound on Woodman, headed through Panorama City, another busy area this evening.
Des, I know we picked this chase up right here at the top of the 8 o'clock newscast here on KCAL. Do we know how long police have been chasing this suspect?
I believe it maybe just 10 or so minutes from before we got over it. So it has not been that long of a pursuit to our knowledge. And again, it started with San Fernando PD. They're the ones in this, came down to Burbank, and then came back north. But now we're going back south again. So we're back in LAPD's jurisdiction. I mean, we were in Burbank's jurisdiction at one point as well. But San Fernando so far has been telling everyone, we are taking this one. We're taking this pursuit. And, this is definitely unorthodox for them to even have to deal with. Like I said, I can't remember ever covering a pursuit involving San Fernando PD. There's been a couple that we have been dispatched to, but ended by the time we had got overhead. A very small department that typically does not need to worry about chasing vehicles. Actually lived in San Fernando myself for several years. Pretty nice little town, second smallest city in LA County, behind Hawaiian Gardens. Right-hand lane here at Roscoe, pretty busy intersection. As I widen out, you can see definitely some people out here tonight. But we've got the train of cars going through, the suspect, and 3 cruisers actively in pursuit. LAPD has their helicopter overhead as well. So, well, we'll see what we have to do. Now we're actually crossing Burbank's final approach again. Maybe a bit of a problem for us here in the next couple of minutes. We'll see, but we'll do the best to continue to bring you this shot, Chauncey.
Okay. All right. This, as we watch this suspect flee from police, this all started in San Fernando and through North Hollywood with San Fernando police chasing this suspect, this Toyota Prius, like I said, going through North Hollywood, then Poicoma also right now, Arleta, and then they're in Panorama City actually right now. We don't know what this suspect is wanted for. We don't know at this moment if this car is stolen. We're waiting to hear back from police, but some major concerns as people start to go out to fireworks celebrations and 4th of July celebrations. And this driver seems like that they are desperate to get away from police, going at some high rates of speed. And we want to re-rack this video to show you a very dramatic moment earlier when we thought this suspect was going to stop. It was over, but then look, they go right through that gate right there, even shattering the windshield of the car, this Toyota Prius. And then there you see him right back on the road, right back on the road, fleeing from police. And we are still waiting from police to see exactly why this person is fleeing, what this person is wanted for. But right now, we're back in Van Nuys. Is this right, Des?
Yes, on Sherman Way here, and we had to come to a stop here. Actually, this turn actually works pretty well for us because we had some big jetliner coming into Burbank Airport on their final approach. So we were holding for them, but now the suspect is kind of paralleling that jet and going westbound along Sherman Way here on the edge of North Hollywood and Van Nuys. So we're going to catch back up to this vehicle right now as we go by some pretty tall apartment buildings. But you can still see the flashing lights right there. Sherman Way, I can tell you from personal experience, is almost like a miniature freeway. 3 lanes in each direction, and it is not at all uncommon to find people driving freeway speeds on this street. just a pro tip there. If you're going to be a pedestrian on Sherman Way, you've got to look alive out there. Right now, only up to about 50 miles an hour. Well, pretty close maneuver, though, there into the middle lane. Yeah, and some wrong way driving. And again, so now, well, lucky for the suspect that the sun is basically set at this point, because if they would have been driving into the sun with that busted windshield, that would be super, super dangerous. But at least that's not going to be a factor for their visibility. Just really concerned about how much this guy or gal can see out the front windshield here as they run through red lights and evade the police. So here we are giving him now a better shot. So well into Van Nuys on Sherman Way, actually headed towards Van Nuys Airport now, but we've still got plenty of road to cover before we get that far.
And also, as this driver goes those high rates of speed, you got to think about the wind coming into this car as the windshield is shattered there. Also, do we know if it's just the driver? Do we know if it's just this one suspect that police are chasing, or if someone else is in the car?
We've only seen the one suspect. We've got a pretty decent look, and here we're getting a look at him right now. I think that is a guy who's driving the vehicle. Haven't heard about anyone else in the vehicle, but yeah, you're right. I mean, you get up to 50, 60. I mean, they are up to 80 miles an hour, and it's like you may as well be sticking your head out the window. I mean, that is pretty uncomfortable to have, you know, air coming blasting in your face that high by virtue of that insane, you know, evasionary tactic that we saw going through that fence. Still so crazy that we saw that. You just never know with these pursuits. Sometimes they just are very kind of, you know, docile is really the only way to put it, where they're just kind of tootling along at the speed limit, and then, you know, it changes at the push of a button where they bust through a fence like that and start driving 80 miles an hour as we make the southbound turn now onto Sherman Way. So still in Van Nuys, but now we're kind of headed towards Sherman Oaks. And boy, San Fernando PD, they are on this one like a hawk. All three of them here. I would have to imagine that if they were going to do a pit maneuver, that they would have already tried it. We've had a couple of pretty decent opportunities. We're on another wide street, though. Let's see if they do set up for something like that here. You know, Sepulveda here are just as wide as Sherman Way. 3 lanes, with that far right lane there being a bike lane, and there goes a cyclist right there. So, you know, if you were going to try to spin a vehicle around, this might be, you know, the kind of wide boulevard that you would want to do it on. But again, we haven't heard any talk of anything like that. So far, San Fernando just seems content to chase this vehicle until the suspect, you know, hopefully they run themselves into a dead end. But, you know, we thought they did that before, and look what happened. So we just have no idea what this suspect's capable of. And
Des, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of traffic here in this area and on this road. When he went through those intersections, you know, he ran into a little traffic, but it seems like, you know, the open street there.
Yeah, pretty open, pretty wide open. Like I said, you're definitely going to see folks out here, but I don't think we're going to see any heavy traffic, at least not until after the fireworks displays are over. And then, believe it or not, we will actually see probably about a half hour to 45 minutes of some pretty tough traffic across Southern California once everyone leaves those fireworks displays. But that's not going to be until, you know, probably 10:30 tonight that we'll start to see that. So these are going to be some overall pretty easy conditions for the suspect. There's not going to be any road work out here either. Caltrans takes the holidays off, so I wouldn't expect to see any closures like that. It's just a matter of where does this suspect think they're going, as they can add some red light tickets now to their traffic problems as the crosses the Orange Line busway. That's actually the only place in the city of Los Angeles left where you're going to find red light cameras anymore, or along the Orange Line busway. So they can expect to be getting some tickets in the mail in the next few weeks for that as well. Those are pretty expensive tickets. So as we cross the Orange Line busway, and we're again, you know, on a very, very busy street, but you see just how wide open everything is here. So paralleling the 405, not too far away from the Sepulveda Flood Basin and the 101 freeway, the next major street will be Burbank Boulevard, and we'll see what the suspect wants to do next.
Once again, this suspect leading police on a chase. This all started in San Fernando Valley. Police
Burbank.
Still giving chase to this suspect, now going westbound here on Burbank. Des, you talked about the pit maneuver earlier, and we talked about how this, I guess, this guy's strategy, no rhyme or reason, going on the side side street one time, but we haven't seen him try to get away because on that side street, when he went past that gate and just plowed right through it, I thought he was going to use that opportunity to try to get out of the car and flee, but he hasn't, made any maneuvers like that going down side streets to make that move. But I'll tell you this, San Fernando PD right there on his track from the very beginning.
Yeah, they are still right there, and we did see after they busted through the gate, briefly speeds up to 80 miles an hour and then kind of backed off. I mean, we're up just slightly, well, right about the speed limit here. And again, getting on the freeway with no windshield there to block the air, it's just got to be difficult on this suspect right now. 65 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, wide open freeways. Not too often we get to say that about the 405. So where are they headed? I mean, it's almost just like they're joyriding right now, not making any real serious effort to get away from the police. Are they just running out the clock, knowing that the jig is up at some point? Are they just going to run this until this Prius is out of gas? I wish we knew how much this Prius had, because as we know, they are gas sippers. These little Priuses, if they are full of gas, they can go a very, very long time. But, we don't know just how much, obviously, is in the tank of this totally busted up car. Just so wild to see this. But northbound 405, so we came south from San Fernando down towards Burbank, then north, then south. Now we're going north again. We've been in the San Fernando Valley the entire time with San Fernando PD, which if people are, some people may be unfamiliar that there is even a city of San Fernando. It is its own independent city in the northeast corner of the valley. Pretty cool little area, and it is their small police department that is still in hot pursuit of this vehicle here as we make our way through Van Nuys and towards the 118 freeway.
Yeah, and Des, at this point, is San Fernando PD, are they saying, hey, we've got this for right now, we don't need any help, we're going to stay on this and handle this ourselves?
That is what we've been hearing. They, I guess, just wanted the helicopter from LAPD. Of course, they don't have their own helicopter, and I'm not sure if they contract with LA County Sheriff's deputies. I'm guessing not, because it's such a small city. Maybe they contract with LAPD since they're surrounded by the city of Los Angeles. But apparently there was some active chatter between LAPD and San Fernando PD if LAPD was going to take it over on the ground, and San Fernando said, no, we are taking this. So they do have LAPD's air support, but that is it. Otherwise, on the ground, this is all tiny San Fernando PD on this one, and we are trending back that way, northbound on the 405. If we cross the 118, the next two off-ramps from there would get you towards the city of San Fernando. But this has just been a pretty aimless pursuit, just kind of looking like maybe one of those pursuits where the suspect's trying to run out the clock as far as they can, as long as it'll go. Maybe they have an idea of where they think they can get out of the car and run, or what they can do, but or if they're thinking that San Fernando PD is just going to get tired of this and give it up. But that we don't have any reason to believe that after everything we've seen. Yeah, they are still on this one. And this is a rare thing for them. Again, it's such a small city, extremely rare for them to get into pursuits. This could even very well be this officer's first pursuit that they've ever covered. So, a lot of interesting things going on here.
Yeah, Des, and got to tell you this, that the owner of this car is going to be so mad once they do see all the damage that was done by the suspect. We just confirmed that this is a stolen vehicle as police are in pursuit of this suspect, which started in San Fernando. As for San Fernando PD continues to chase this suspect, we are also still trying to work out, our assignment desk is trying to figure out the circumstances surrounding the theft of the car, but we have confirmed this is a stolen vehicle. This as we approach North Hills, still north on the 405. Des.
Yeah, that's very sad indeed. And on a holiday, no less, you certainly hope that whoever that is, that they have good comprehensive insurance to get this vehicle replaced. The Priuses were also very, very popular targets for catalytic converter theft as well.
Right.
So it's just a lot of issues. But usually it's the Kias and the Hyundais that we talk about with the stolen vehicles. But with this, it is a Prius, and boy, a busted one up at that. And he is cutting over towards the right-hand shoulder. Very common tactic here by these suspects that think that they can pull a last-second lane change to try to evade the authorities, but it did not work. And we are headed eastbound 118, and so we are headed back towards San Fernando. So we've really looped all the way around now. We basically did a pretty big tour of the eastern half of the San Fernando Valley as we make the transition eastbound 118 back into Pacoima and towards the city of San Fernando, which doesn't actually touch any freeways, but gets pretty close. So I don't know. We'll just see what the suspect's next maneuver is going to be.
Right, Des. I was just about to ask you that this guy just do a big circle here in the San Fernando Valley, and also when it comes to San Fernando PD, in your experience, how long do they let these things play out, or how aggressive do they get, especially after that maneuver that we saw involving this suspect just plowing right through that gate?
Well, it's really hard to say because it is such a rarity. Like I said, I believe this is the very first San Fernando PD pursuit that I've ever covered. But speaking from experience with these smaller departments, they tend to be on the more aggressive side. They tend to be. I mean, everything's just kind of a generality when we're talking about that. But we all know over the last years what's happened with LAPD and LA County Sheriff's deputies, and how because of so many calculations and with so much litigation that can come from these pursuits when they end badly, that they let a lot of non-violent crime go. Now, a lot of these stolen vehicle pursuits, they end up just getting terminated altogether. They just make the determination, we'll try to get the suspect at another time when it's less dangerous to the public. But that's typically not the case with CHP, and that's typically not the case with the smaller departments either. They operate with different protocols, and it's hard to say why they do or don't do any particular thing, but just in my experience from what we've seen, they tend to be on the more aggressive side, and the fact that you continue to see them sticking with that after what we've seen, it kind of lends some credence to that theory.
All right, Des, thank you so much. This suspect still trying to get away from police. We are in Arleta right now. This all started once again in San Fernando, then went over to Burbank. This Toyota Prius, the driver, we've confirmed that this is a stolen car. This is a stolen Prius pursuit here. Once again, San Fernando Valley, then over to Burbank, and then through North Hollywood. A lot of close calls there on the way, just like we saw just there. And then in that same area there in North Hollywood, we saw this suspect just go right through this gate, shattering the windshield, and then getting right back on the street, on the freeway, and still trying to get away from police. Once again, we have confirmed this is a stolen vehicle. San Fernando PD staying with this chase. We know LAPD's airship is above, but right now San Fernando PD is saying to everyone, back off, we're going to stay with this, and they are on this suspect's tracks as he still here on the freeway, going speeds up to 90 miles per hour, over 90 miles per hour now. Yeah, Des, what'd you say, over 90?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're up to, this is really wild right now. I mean, and again, no windshield, or at least a huge hole in the windshield right there. And so now, over 100 miles an hour, this is really, really crazy stuff. Really dangerous. We saw him kind of swerve to avoid a couple of vehicles there. So now he's going way, way faster than all the traffic. So my pilot Dylan was noticing that it looked like the authorities were kind of losing the vehicle as we widen out. They're suddenly not behind him right now. If they're about a mile behind, my pilot is saying, and that may, if they're trying to switch out units or what the deal is, or maybe they're trying to determine if they still want to stick with this or what. But and now they may be trying to catch back up, but they got stuck behind some traffic. And again, the authorities have to obviously balance everything with public safety in mind. these suspects clearly don't care about that and are going to do anything they can to get away. And so now we are starting to see the highest speeds that we've seen so far here as we blast southbound on the 5. So we were getting back towards San Fernando, but now we are getting pretty clearly into Burbank. See the spotlight there, though, from LAPD. They are still watching this one from the air, even though they're not too close at the moment from the ground.
Yeah, Des, this is growing in concern, especially here at 8:30. We talked about this earlier about the fireworks and the celebrations and the 4th of July celebrations really starting to get underway. Oh, is he is that him going through the?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, wow, just way off the freeway and romping right through that gas station without even stopping. That was another pretty crazy maneuver right there. So now we are off just as we were about to get into Burbank, staying in LAPD's area here. So back in that industrial area, we're actually not too far away from where that suspect pulled that insane maneuver going through that locked gate and busting up the vehicle. Sunland Boulevard, Vineland Avenue, not too far away from that at all, maybe you know, a mile at most, as the darkness begins to set in here on the East San Fernando Valley, but the spotlight there from LAPD overhead. And let's just widen out and see. We're still not seeing the authorities right on the ground, but apparently they're not too far behind. So, you know, you were going to think if the suspect wanted to make like a serious attempt to get away, they might have been the chance to do that. But now, I mean, now they're even obeying, and they're stopping behind the vehicle. They even got their light on. But here we go. San Fernando PD is back. They are back. They are back in this one as the suspect so kindly uses their turn signal here to make the turn onto Strathern Street. There are definitely some dead ends in this area. So is this aimless driving? Does the suspect have any kind of strategy at all? We will see here as they cross right below us here. So kind of zigging and zagging around the Sun Valley area and now kind of doubling back towards the 5 freeway.
And Des, San Fernando PD, they had to do some they had to do some speedy driving to catch up to this guy. At one point, I saw him there clocking 113 miles per hour. Now he makes another circle, still trying to evade police. Des, you know, I was looking at the traffic there, and we talked about the celebrations and all of that going on. You know, in your experience, is the light traffic, is that worse because the driver can go faster? Because we've seen him just on some of these roads just free. All right, it seemed like
there's less traffic, they can go faster, but there's less people that they're endangering. And, you know, if the roads are more crowded, you know, it's then they can't drive as fast, but they pull crazy stuff like that right there, going in the center divider and to get around traffic. So I would say it's probably overall better that the roads are less crowded right now, because a lot of these suspects, they don't care if the roads are crowded. They'll go to the wrong side of the road. They'll go on the center divider. They'll go on the right-hand shoulder to get around if need be. And, you know, we've seen that a couple of times as we cross over now to Sunland Boulevard. So we are on the east side of the 5 freeway now, and just dancing around the eastern San Fernando Valley, all different areas here as we continue to roll back northbound away from Burbank and in LAPD's jurisdiction, and over basically on the right-hand shoulder. No, actually they are in the right-hand lane right there. You got the spotlight there from LAPD. San Fernando PD, they're here they come. They're going to be back in the shot here in just a moment, but they are still sticking with this one. And, you know, like I said, if they were going to try a pit maneuver or something like that, I feel like we would have seen it by now. There hasn't been any talk about spike strips or anything like that. But, and because San Fernando is such a small department, there is a very high likelihood that the lead unit in this pursuit may not have a lot of experience with this kind of stuff, because it is just not something that happens in that small jurisdiction very often. Getting a great look at LAPD's helicopter right there with their spotlight, and you see the air support there. And as we continue rolling now into the Shadow Hills area, kind of on the east side of the Hanson Dam, a lot of equestrian properties here, upscale, very nice neighborhood, kind of extends into the foothills.
And Des, I was just thinking about this when the suspect showed his great desperation to get away from police when he did go through that gate and shattered the front windshield of this Prius. It made me think about the glass that came into the car, but not only that, but possibly into his face and his eyes, which would, you know, make it hard for him to drive out there, especially, you know, as the night falls.
Oh, totally. I mean, is it really worth all of this consternation, all of this discomfort? I mean, so many times there's something else going on with these suspects if they have a rap sheet, you know, or what. That's not something that we'll be privy to until, you know, long after this is over, if we're able to get any kind of follow-up on this. But it's just insane, the type of risks that you constantly see these suspects taking over something like a stolen vehicle, which we know in LA County a lot of times is a misdemeanor, a lot of times that might not even get you any jail time. But then you go and you pull something like this with where you run from the cops and do all kinds of crazy stuff, and it's going to be a totally different story once this is all said and done. So, you know, and there just really doesn't seem to be any idea where this suspect is going. We've covered so many areas now as we are. This is the first time that we're leaving the San Fernando Valley and headed kind of towards the Crescenta Valley and Tujunga, which will still be in the city of Los Angeles unless we continue into La Cañada, Flint Ridge, and beyond. But where are they headed now? As we get in right through that red light there, and the next freeway will be the 210. And are we going to take the 210? No, we're going to go underneath the 210, continuing on to Sunland. So we're basically in Sunland, actually more like the Tujunga. Now, you know what? I would say we are. Just one second here, guys. We're having one issue up here. Chauncey, let me just toss it back to you real quick.
All right. If you're just joining us, we are watching police chase this stolen Prius. This chase started in San Fernando. San Fernando Police Department handling this chase. We know this Prius went through Burbank and then also went through several. Did he come to a stop, Des? I see him running there.
Yeah, came to a stop. Yeah, really glad this one is over here as the suspect is out and running, and they hopped through a gate there, it looked like. Here comes San Fernando PD. We'll see if we're able to get to the other side of this gate here really quickly. But out here and running, it looks like they do have them under the spotlight. There they are. There's the suspect right there. Out here running all over the place, but they got to another locked community, and now, you know, here comes somebody here. Oh, geez. They just wondered, you know, what is going on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here's the suspect here running in this nice little, looks like a little community here onto someone's patio, but they've got the spotlight here from LAPD, so they're going to try to guide San Fernando PD in here.
What is this? Is this like an apartment complex or?
Yeah, it looks like an apartment complex here. There's kind of a little brushy area here. It might be kind of difficult for LAPD to keep tabs on them now. So they are trying to guide these officers in here right now off of Wingate and Sunland Boulevard. So if you live in the area and you see the big spotlight, that is a suspect that is running around in this community and trying to evade. And now this is now, you know, they doesn't look like they have eyes on this suspect. Wow. They might have lost him here underneath those trees, and this is a big complex that was locked. The San Fernando PD couldn't get their vehicles in. We saw him out there running on foot. They were keeping up with him for a bit, but you know, he was hopping all over the place. Yeah. Hopping over some walls, over some fences. There they are. There they are, out running around here back into the parking garage. Oh, he's going into a garage right there. I think.
Yeah, he just went into someone's garage.
Right into that garage. Yep.
And Des, I don't know did you see this, or did the suspect come in contact with someone else? It's I thought I saw him run past another neighbor, but there's police, and I don't think that officer knows that he just went into. Oh, well, he's shining his light over there. No, he has no idea that that's the garage.
Yeah, it looks like they may have some trouble communicating right here. Yeah, I'm not sure if you know, if LAPD's helicopter is able to communicate with the radios with San Fernando PD.
Oh, wow.
Those are encrypted radios, so you know that could be communication. He's got the spotlight right there. He's trying to shine it on him, but the officer keeps walking the other way here. But yeah, that garage that just happened to be open there.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it was just opened up a little bit, but now this one seems to know. He sees what's going on. I think he's going to be calling for backup. He's not going to want to go in there by himself. You know, they have no idea if this suspect is armed and dangerous or what the deal is.
Right, but another part to this, Des, we don't know if who's inside this home. We don't know if a family was here inside the home at the time, but it just so happened, crazy that this particular garage was just ajar enough where this suspect could, oh, now I see the garage coming up.
Yep. And, you know, these garages too, look, there's like a little common area here. Oh boy. And this person right here.
Is that him?
I mean, we saw, no, that looks like the resident. But, oh, okay, now she's pointing him out. I mean, he may have gone in and then into, you know, this yard right here and maybe even hopped some fences. So she's trying to direct him around, because obviously, you know, the garage will have a door that goes into this little patio area to the rear of that property. So he may have come out the other end and then even hopped behind some fences there while we were focused on that garage. So, you know, this is really a problem now for the authorities, or, you know, may have even gone through the house. We don't know, but, you know, we only had a couple of units that were in pursuit, and that suspect unfortunately had some pretty fast legs and were able to, you know, hop and leap around and get away from the police for about a minute. And even with the benefit from the spotlight, that suspect was, you know, able. Oh, right there.
Right there.
They're going in. I think I just saw him.
Yep.
Yeah, right there.
Right there in the corner. And Des, you've got to give it to LAPD with this spotlight tonight. This spotlight is really, really helping San Fernando PD as they try to find this guy. Because even at that one point, you saw one of the officers just walk right by that garage that the suspect had just gone into seconds before.
Well, I mean, boy, this suspect is very sneaky. I got to tell you, it makes me think this is not their first rodeo with this. But we saw him just kind of creep there from the garage. I'm guessing maybe that garage is full of a lot of stuff right there, and then it looked like he went right under the awning and probably into the house. So now we are watching to see if they're going to come out the front door. No, those are shadows right there. See if they're going to come out the front door, or if they're going to try to hide in the house. But, you know, this is pretty scary. I mean, now we basically, you know, have a home invasion going on, you know, at the end of a stolen vehicle pursuit, as this person, you know, commandeers their home to try to get away. So, you know, there was a lot of public danger on the streets earlier, and now a totally different kind of dangerous situation in this community in Sunland.
Yeah, I was going to ask Des, like, this is very dangerous and so concerning, because you don't, like I said, you don't know who's home, who's not. The garage that this suspect entered, someone ended up being inside of this home. The woman, we saw her come out and talk with that officer. You know, so we don't know, but what we do know is that this guy is desperate to get away from police. Do we know how these apartments are kind of positioned? Because like he has to either be in one of the homes or like in one of those courtyards.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the little courtyard there that connects the garage with the home, and then we saw him kind of try to slip in, and it sure looked like he tried to go in the home. And you have to imagine that it was probably, you know, unlocked from the lady that you know, came into the garage trying to see what all of this ruckus was about. So it could have been very easy entrance for him to get in, unless he's still hiding there and then hopped into another yard. That's why we're kind of keeping this wide shot, trying to look at both sides here. You know, it's just become a very difficult situation to keep tabs on. And this is just, you know, we say it all the time, when you get in the heat of the moment and the suspect is out on foot, they, especially if they're really quick like that suspect was, they only need a couple of seconds to get away from the authorities. And even if you have a helicopter overhead, you've got awnings, you've got trees, you've got bushes, you've got all these kind of hiding places, you've got covered patios. And I mean, it's possible that the suspect may have even slipped out and is underneath one of these awnings. So, and we only had 3 units that were involved in this. Here come a couple more officers that they're going to want to make sure that they have enough backup before they even go inside. But the longer they take, the longer that gives the suspect to potentially get out and get towards, a million other hiding places.
Exactly. And it seemed like it happened so fast. In the beginning, you said that this was a gated apartment complex, which that might have slowed down the officers to try to get in to, get on his tracks. But is this apartment complex gated, Des? And also, did he just come off the road and get past the gate?
Well, yeah, I'd be curious if we're able to re-rack that video, but it looked like he just kind of slipped past one of the gates, or there might have been a walkway. The gate was for cars to get in, but the community itself may be more open, and he was able to kind of run around. This is a pretty big development. As I widen out, this is one of those larger kind of like garden type communities, I guess you could say. You see up in the upper right hand corner, that's where the pursuit came to an end with the vehicle. But look at how much area we've covered on foot since then to get in here. And I mean, San Fernando still has their vehicles parked out there, like maybe they haven't been able to get their cars in here. We've seen all these officers coming run into this area, and they have not made entry yet into that garage. They're still hanging out here with the homeowner or the resident. Maybe she's giving them some more information about what to expect when they get inside. Where how many bedrooms is this? How many bathrooms? Is there an attic? Maybe something like that before they go and make entry. But it is just so dark out here now, and there's no officers that we've seen on the other side of this apartment complex. So the suspect still has the advantage at this particular time, I would say.
Yeah, and we want to show you the moment when this suspect got into this community. You see he slips right there into that garage that was just slightly open, and then goes into that courtyard there. Police have no idea where he is. They have no idea that he's entered that garage. And you see LAPD airship above trying to shine the light on that garage to let San Fernando PD know and alert them that he's gone into that garage. But they still don't. They don't get with him, but I don't know where he went beyond that. It's interesting to see those courtyards. They connect, but it looks like, Des, they can easily jump from one courtyard to the other.
Yeah, and we know the suspect was very capable of that based on their agility back when they were out on foot. But San Fernando PD still not making entry on this situation. Not sure if there's some kind of protocol issue here or what. I mean, they have 4 or 5 officers here right now, and we saw them out there speaking with the resident. The spotlight from LAPD continues to try to illuminate this otherwise awfully dark situation down here. But still no movement from the authorities on trying to move in and get this suspect. And now it's been so long, if they do go in, is the suspect even still going to be there? That's the thing that I'm the most concerned about right now.
Where do you see any officers there on the ground inside of this gated apartment complex or gated community?
I'm sorry, one more time with that, Chauncey.
I know. I was asking, do you see any? It seems like all of the officers have disappeared, if you will. I don't see any officers on the scene.
They're right here, and here come maybe even a couple
on
more.
that road. Yeah.
And now, and I'm not sure if these are all still San Fernando PD or if LAPD is giving any ground support now that we are in their jurisdiction and this has come to an end. I wouldn't be surprised if they come, just because again we're kind of far from San Fernando, and it's going to would be very taxing for them to bring any more units as it is to have any more of their units come and get in this. But my pilot is saying that they do have a perimeter set up. So in theory, then, okay, so you can see right down here at the bottom off of, this is actually off of the 210 exit right here. So we're right off of the 210 freeway, right up against the Foothill Freeway. You can see a unit that is down there, maybe CHP, that is right by the wall, just in case the suspect is able to slip out and they want to go over the wall or something like that. So they are attempting to lock this area down.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if it's too late, because it's just so dark out here. And okay, some more flashlights over here as well. So they're out here looking, but we haven't heard about them entering the home yet. So maybe they want to lock everything around the home down first before they make entry. That way, if they go in and they find him and he decides to run out of the home, they're going to have other officers waiting there to slap him in handcuffs. So that may be what they're doing right now, but they still have not made entry into the garage, which leads to the unit where we last saw the suspect at.
Right. Des, what is to the left of this apartment building, or this community, if you will? Because I don't see any areas where he could have gotten away, or no, there's a street right there. So he very well could have gotten over that courtyard fence and then took a run for it and then went down this street.
It's possible. I mean, I'm not sure how high the wall is right there. I believe that's going to be like a public storage facility. Yep, that's exactly what that is. That is pretty well lit, but there is quite a bit of brush between the apartment complex and where that is. So kind of hard to say, but it's still, there's a couple more officers here. They're probably scouring all around around this kind of thick, little bit of a wooded area right here on the perimeter of this apartment or condo complex. So probably checking all of that first before they decide to go in the house. And and then I'm not sure if it's a matter of if they need the homeowner's permission to go in there or what the deal is, but whatever their protocol is, it looks like they're going through it right now before they decide to go any farther. But we're listening to LAPD's helicopter up here right now, and just based on the movements of the spotlight, the suspect is not yet in custody. I think I just saw, a couple of officers here at the front of the house. So now they're right there in the front. That's the first that we've seen them, right in front of the unit there where the suspect was. So they've got the home pinned down now on both sides, and maybe we will see some entry here soon.
Des, didn't you see the lady come out, the homeowner possibly come out and talk with those officers? And it looked like she was pointing in a direction that he might have gone in. This is after he entered the home and may have gotten into that courtyard and then jumped the fence. Didn't we see the homeowner, a lady, come out and talk to officers and sort of directing like, oh, he went that way, he went that way? Right there, there's a video.
It looked like it, yeah. Yep, she is down there underneath the spotlight with them. She's still with them, and it definitely looked like that's what we saw.
There you see that suspect
she was pointing,
right there. I don't know if you can see that video.
Did you see him right in there?
Yep, right. No, on this is earlier, the earlier video that we were running. This is when he got inside of the home and he was sort of in that courtyard area, and it looked like when he disappeared into, I don't know if that was another unit or another courtyard or another part of this particular house where he entered the garage.
Yeah, it looked like it was the same courtyard that was connected from the garage that he entered right here. I remember these mailboxes right here, and then it was in this courtyard, and then we saw him just kind of slip through the patio and look like he was going into the sliding door. That's certainly what it looked like, but the authorities are still on both sides here now, the front and the rear of that unit. They have not gone in yet, so it's still unclear what the holdup is on this one, but sometimes they take a long time to do this. Want to make sure that they have all their ducks in a row, or they may be waiting for additional backup, or they may be waiting for some ballistic shields or helmets or some equipment like that. These officers are not not equipped with that stuff. It appears. Again, we're talking about a very, very small department. Here's San Fernando PD, most likely the second smallest police force in Los Angeles County. Led them here into the Sunland area off of Sunland Boulevard in the 210. Here's some more officers down there, getting a pretty good look there thanks to LAPD spotlight. But are they going to be going in the home? It looks like I see a little bit of talk on their shoulder-mounted radios there. Definitely a lot of communication going on, but it's just so crazy what the suspect has done to evade capture so far, everything that we've seen. Yeah. And at least at the moment, they're still not in custody. They still have the possibility of getting away, especially now that it is so dark. I mean, we saw them go into the home, but there's the patio right next door is covered. There's a lot of darkness. It's not even for sure that suspect is still inside that person's home.
Right, but it seems like they have a perimeter. You have officers on seemingly both sides of the home, the garage, and then the other side, which may be the entrance of the home. But I want to show that video one more time to viewers once. Actually, let's start right here, showing his great desperation here as he goes through the gates right there, just busting open those gates and shattering the windshield, getting back on the highway, going up speeds up to 112 miles per hour at one point, still staying in the San Fernando Valley, kind of making a circle and going on the wrong side of the roads at one point, still trying to get away from police. Once again, this is a Toyota Prius that has been stolen, according to police. You see there, he jumps out, leaves the car and jumps over this fence, which is a gated apartment community. You see him running there, right there on that sidewalk, still trying to get away from police. Police are not inside of this apartment complex yet, so you see the suspect there still running, trying to find a place to hide. Look, he finds just a little bit of room right there to crawl under that garage and go right inside that home. The homeowner opens the garage and comes out and starts to talk with this officer. But this is what I want to show you. Zoom in when we see him in the courtyard right here. Look, just right there in the blue. Then he just disappears, and we don't know where that suspect goes from there. Des.
Yep, that's right. And just showing you here, I was seeing if our map tracker would give us a better locator than just Sunland. I'll widen out and show you the area that we're talking about off of Sunland Boulevard. There's LAPD's helicopter. Sunland and Wingate, the 210 freeway, is what you see on the bottom there of the screen. So we were just trying to ask the helicopter overhead, like, hey, are you guys, are they going to make entry soon? And they're not sure. It sounds like there are some communication issues here between LAPD's helicopter and San Fernando PD's ground units right there. Most likely their radios don't talk to each other because those, we believe those are encrypted radios, like so many of the smaller communities are in LA, Orange County, and the Inland Empire. So the helicopter couldn't even tell us if they were getting ready to go in or what the delay is on all of this. But my guess, this could very well end up turning into a SWAT situation. Would not be surprising at all, where they may be calling LA County Sheriff's deputies. They would probably be the ones that would come in, or maybe LAPD with their SWAT team. We'll see. It's just not known at this point if that's what they're planning on doing. I mean, they're right here at the front door of the home. I'm sure they're calling out to the suspect. That's going to be the first thing that they do. They're going to do lots of call-outs. They'll probably use a loudspeaker on both the back driveway and at the front door to get through to the suspect to let him know, look, you're cornered, you're surrounded, it's over, come out now before we, force our way in. That's probably what's happening right now. And then are they going to, if the suspect refuses to come out and surrender, then there is the, likelihood that they will call either LAPD, since this is in LA, or they'll call sheriff's deputies to come in with their Bearcats and their big armor, and this could turn into an hours-long situation. So, unknown, but they haven't shown any interest in going inside yet. I don't think I'm getting the impression that that's not going to be changing anytime soon. So this could be trending towards a long, drawn-out conclusion here in Sunland for this stolen vehicle suspect, Chauncey.
Right. And here on the 4th of July, you just don't want to have a scene like this, especially for the folks at home who are waiting to watch the fireworks, and also the folks here in this community who now have to hunker down because this suspect is not in police custody just yet. This, as officers are waiting and have this home surrounded as this suspect is holed up inside of this home. We're going to continue to watch this pursuit suspect situation as he is still trying to evade police, and police still trying to find him at this point as they are waiting to enter this house.
Hey, Chauncey, just want to mention Pat Harvey here. I'll be joining. I'm here on the desk with you, beginning to start the 9 o'clock, waiting for Juan Fernandez, and with Desmond Shaw overhead. Just want to ask both of you guys, has it been established that this person, this suspect, knows the person whose home or garage that he got into?
No, this was random. And as a matter of fact, Pat, all of the garage doors were closed, and he found one garage that was just slightly open, and he crawled into that garage and got into this home. And then seconds later, and then also after that, though, one of the San Fernando police officers, he comes right by him, and right by the garage, and then the LAPD airship just shines the light to show him, hey, that's the garage that he went in, and he's been in there ever since. So, but yeah, so thanks for joining us here for the news at 8 o'clock. I'm going to toss it over to Pat and Juan for the news at 9.
Okay, thanks so much, Chauncey and Desmond. Let's get back up to you while Juan is getting his microphone on. Just want to establish something else here as well. Do we know that he is in a home, or is he in between some of those homes there?
Well, Pat, we believe that we saw the suspect go into this unit right here. So they came into, this is the garage right here near the mailboxes where the door was just slightly ajar. They were able to crawl inside. It's pretty dark down there. They're just kind of at the mercy of LAPD's spotlight. There it is right there. You can see that door that leads from the garage to the little patio, and then from the patio into the home. And it looks like he's in the home right now, Pat.